Hi everybody, it's Laura with Jot and Tittle Typewriters. Today we're doing a tutorial video for a 1938 Corona Standard, and so I'll lift this up so you can kind of see it. And if you're watching this, you're either thinking about buying one like it or you have one and want to know how to use it. So if you want to see an actual typing demo for this typewriter, there's a link in the description below that actually takes you to a product listing, and there you can see the photos for the typewriter and links to a typing demo, and that'll still be active whether or not the typewriter has been sold or not. So it's really a reference for you. And if you want to know if this is available in our shop or what typewriters we have available in our shop, again, there's a link in the description below for our current typewriter listings. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start with this back plate, and I'm going to fold it forward, and there you're going to see the margins. That's how you set your margins. You press and you drag. Okay, right and left. Now, when you move this carriage, this is called your carriage, and to move it, there's a lever behind each roller handle. Doesn't matter which side, you just pull that in. There you go, and you can move it. Now, that carriage is only going to move as far as you have margins set. And when you get to the end of your right margin, you're going to hear your bell. And that just is like, hey, you're at the end of your margin, time for you to hit your return handle and go to the next line. Now, this switch on the left side right here, it's a little tiny one. That determines if you advance one or two lines, okay? There's one, there's two. Now, if you get to the right side, your bell goes off and you're in the middle of a word and your carriage stops, well, then there's a key for you right here. It says margin release. Now, this one doesn't work on this particular typewriter, but if you press that, it'll release that margin and you should be able to continue to go. But like I said, this one doesn't work. So I'm sorry I can't show you accurately how that works, but that's what it's for. Okay. Also on the right side, you'll see another lever right here. That is your paper release, which releases the tension on your paper. These little silver slides, these hold your paper against the roller. And there is your roller, which is also called the platen. All right, I am going to move the carriage over to the left because I want to open this up. And if you don't move your carriage, what it does is your handle will scrape the top because it's in the way. So I just put my hand right here and pop it up. And there you go. I'm going to lift this up so you can see it. That's how your ribbon should be threaded. If you go to that product listing link, there will be an up-close image of this whole escapement area so that you know how to thread your ribbon. Now, it takes a 2-inch spool, which is a universal ribbon. They're very easy to find. You can find them on our website at jotandtittletypewriters.com. And if you have a specialty spool or you have the original spools, we do have an option called custom ribbons, and just click on that, and that allows you to send us your spool, and then we'll wind it with fresh ribbon, and then we send it back to you. Okay, so this does take a 2-color ribbon. Black is on top, red is on bottom. There's guide wires right here that you have to make sure they're threaded through properly. Now, the ribbon comes out very easy. You just pop it up. But the guide wires can be a little tricky in how you thread it. So in this particular case, and it's not going to show up in the video, but these guide wires right here have a slit on the back side, and you kind of have to wiggle that ribbon through the slit. And I'm not going to do it because then my hands are going to get covered in ink, but you just wiggle that in, make sure everything's nice and straight, make sure it pops down. All right, and you're good to go. Now remember, when you get to the end of the spool, it's not the end of the ink. There's a lot of ink in that ribbon, so you have to reverse the direction of your ribbon. Now, some ribbons do come with grommets, at the end of the spool, which will trigger an auto reverse on some typewriter models. But if it doesn't, then there's a manual reverse, and it's right here on the left side. See where my finger is, and you just go back and forth, okay? And that reverses the direction of your ribbon. And you should be able to reverse the direction dozens of times before you need to change it. Okay, this right here is your tension for your keys, and that is so if you have a heavier hand, you might want to keep it in terms of you press pretty hard. Like my husband, it like he's really heavy-handed, so he would keep it on the lower setting. And since I type faster and I have smaller fingers, I have a much lighter touch. So I'll probably, when I use it, I probably put it on the H, the higher setting, just so it's a little bit, I don't have to press so hard. That's what that is for. Okay, let me close this. Down here, you're gonna see your color selector. It's on red right now, and the middle is a white. In the top, it probably looks blue on your typewriter, but it's actually black. Or there's a couple of different 2-color ribbons out there, so whatever's on top is on top, and whatever's on bottom is on bottom. The white is stencil. Your typewriter is not going to type properly when it's on that setting, so you're not going to ever use it. So if it's not typing properly, 2 things to check. Make sure, try reversing the direction of your ribbon, and if that doesn't work, then check over here to make sure that you are firmly on the black or the red setting. Here's your backspace. Remember, backspace does not erase. It's for when you make a mistake and you backspace and type over. We talked about margin release, and then this is your shift and your shift lock. To undo the shift lock, you just press the shift. Now you'll see on this key, it says floating shift, and most likely it says that on yours as well. What that means is when you hit shift, it moves the escapement, versus some of the older typewriters, when you hit shift, it moves the carriage, and the carriage is really heavy. So that wears out your pinky pretty darn quick. So the floating shift was really considered a wonderful advancement because it just was a lot easier on your fingers. Okay, so that is how you use a Smith Corona standard. And let me show you where the serial number is. The serial number is right here. Actually, that's what I thought. This is not a standard, it is a clipper. So it's a 2C, which is a clipper, not a standard. And anyway, you can write down your serial number and go to Typewriter database and look it up, and you'll find out what year it is. And hopefully that helps you. All right, thanks for watching. Be sure to support our channel, either by sending us a little thank you gift or visiting our website. We have pads and covers and ribbons, puzzles, and give us a thumbs up and subscribe for sure. Thanks so much. Have a good day.